Hello my fellow working class heroes, good day. I am Carlo and welcome to Carlo Excels. In this episode, we'll talk about the Juno, the Intelligent DepEd School Form 2 template. The concept of the School Form 2 is actually very simple, but anybody who's done a School Form 2 before knows that it's actually very difficult in practice. The Juno School Form 2 template was designed to make sure that the School Form 2 becomes simple in both concept and practice. In this video, first we'll talk about an overview and the features of this School Form 2 template. Then we're gonna talk about how to download the School Form 2 template. And then we're gonna talk about how to input data into the School Form 2 template. And then how to get the printouts from the School Form 2 template. Before anything else, if you're new to this channel, hello, this is Carlo Excels, a channel that is dedicated to teaching my fellow teachers here in the Philippines Microsoft Excel. Occasionally, I also create Microsoft Excel tools like this that will be helpful for my fellow teachers. Please like this video and share this video to your fellow teachers and drop a comment down below. It'll really help with the YouTube algorithm and help those who are searching for this to find this. Thank you. Now, what are the features of this School Form 2 template? First, this can be used by both public and private schools. Next, this School Form 2 template can handle grade levels from kindergarten all the way to grade 12. Next, this School Form 2 template can handle custom school calendars. I know that each and every school have very different school calendars. In fact, DepEd schools, some DepEd schools do not strictly follow the school calendar as proposed by DepEd because in some locales, you have certain holidays that are not present in other locales. In those cases, this School Form 2 template can cater to any school calendar that your school may have. This School Form 2 template can handle any month as a start of the school year. This is most especially important for private schools. If your school started their classes on July, no problem, this template can handle it. If you started your schooling in August like everybody else, no problem. If you started schooling in September or even October, this School Form 2 template can handle that too. This School Form 2 template can handle a school year of up to 12 months, no matter what month you started in. This School Form 2 template can handle Saturday classes. Now, I know that certain private schools have Saturdays as some of their valid school days, and at the same time, some public schools also designate Saturday classes as special school days whenever there is some problem with the weekdays. So this template can handle Saturday classes perfectly. And yes, this template can also handle Sunday classes because I know that certain private schools have Sundays as valid class days, especially when there are certain activities like founding anniversary celebrations or even family days. If you have those kinds of days, school days with you, this template can handle Sundays as valid class days. This template handles one class for a whole school year. So this is not one file for every month. No, this is like one file for one whole school year for one particular class. This School Form 2 template can handle up to 100 students per class of any combination of males and females. Say if you have 100 males and no females in your class, no problem. If you have 99 males and 1 female in your class, no problem. If you have 99 females and 1 male in your class, no problem. The School Form 2 template can handle that. This School Form 2 template has automatic page formatting for easy printing. So no more adjusting the page layout, no more adjusting the page margins, no more adding cells, deleting cells, hiding cells, none of that nonsense. All you have to do for this template is just click, print. This School Form 2 template can automatically handle late enrollees, transferees in and out, and of course, those who are no longer participating in school activities. No need for you to count them manually because the School Form 2 template can handle all of that automatically. And this feature of the template I'm most proud of, this template can automatically detect students who are absent for 5 consecutive school days. No need for the teacher or the advisor to do this manually. All you have to do is log in the absences, and if there are 5 consecutive school days absent for every student, this School Form 2 template can automatically detect and record that. This School Form 2 template is a Microsoft Excel template. It does not have any Visual Basic Code or even macros. And because I restricted myself to using only the most basic functions and formulas, I expect this to be compatible with Microsoft Office versions as old as 2007. This School Form 2 template, however, is made to not be compatible with Google Sheets. So please do not use this online. Instead, just download it and use it offline. So how do you download the template? If you look at the descriptions down below, you will find there a link, a download link to the Juno 1 School Form 2 template. Now, when you click that link, this is the screen that you're going to see. Now, you will see in the zip file, you have two kinds of files here, the DepEd 2022 to 2023 version and then the open version. Whatever the case, please click on this download button on the upper right corner of the screen so you can get the zip file. So once you get the zip file, you can simply extract it and then you can get two files. So of course, you may be asking, why are there two versions of the same school form 2 template? Later on, I'm going to explain the very minute difference between the Juno 1 DepEd 2022 to 2023 version and the Juno 1 open version. But long story short, if you're a private school, you will want to use the open version. And if you're from a public school, if you're teaching in a public school, you would want, of course, the DepEd version. Now, let me categorically state that this Juno School Form 2 template is free to download. And yes, it is free to distribute. Give it to all of your co-teachers. And of course, it's free to use. This Juno School Form 2 template was made primarily for school teachers so that we spend less time on our documents and more time in actually teaching our students. Of course, this Juno School Form 2 template was also made for admin level school personnel. Ma'am, sir, doctor, whatever the case may be. If you like what you see in this template, please download it and then share it to all of your teachers so that they can use this template. And then of course, you don't even have to teach them how to use the template because you can simply lead them to this YouTube video so that I can teach everyone how to use the template. And of course, the biggest advantage of this, ma'am, sir, or doctor, by using this School Form 2 template, all of your attendance records for all of your teachers, you can make sure that all of them will be consistent and most importantly, systematic and accurate. Well, of course, some of you may be asking if this is free to download, distribute, and use. Well, what's the catch? Well, if you are going to use this for free, please do not sell it when you give it to somebody else. Please give it to them for free. First of all, it is illegal to sell this because this is School Form 2. This is a government form. Do not sell this. That's illegal. And most importantly, when you give this to somebody else, please do not edit it before you give it to them. Please give this in its unedited form. So we're about to proceed to the part wherein I discuss to you how to use the School Form 2 template. But before we go there, let me first give a general layout as to the things that we're going to discuss. First, I'm gonna show you how to use the template under normal conditions, assuming that everybody's enrolled on time and everybody just proceeds with the school year as planned. Next, we're gonna talk about how to use a template during uncommon circumstances. Primarily, how the template deals with students with 5 consecutive absences, how the template and you can deal with late enrollees, students who've transferred in, students who are no longer participating in school activities or NLPAs, and then students who have transferred out. So when you open the School Form 2 template for the very first time, this is what you're expected to see. You will start with a general information sheet where you're expected to enter the general information of your school and your class. So let me blow that up a little bit so it's easier to see. Now let's enter the details here. First, pick a region. So just click on that space and then select from the drop-down box the various regions from in the Department of Education's list. So if you pick a region here, for example, you pick a region here, like for example, region 1, once you proceed to the division, you will already have choices as to the divisions for region 1. So these are the various divisions of region 1. If you pick region 4A, for example, these are the various divisions for region 4A. So let's just pick a region and then pick a sample division. So say for example, I'm gonna pick, I don't know, maybe region 9. And then say for example, I am in the Zamboanga del Norte division. Next, pick a school year. Please note the school year that you pick is very important because this is going to be included in the date calculations later on. So our current school year is 2022 to 2023. So that's what we're gonna pick. Next, please enter your school name. So in this case, let's put in our school name. For example, YouTube, University, Basic, Education, Department, like this. Next, please enter your school ID. Of course, a school ID is a 6-digit number given to your school upon registration to the Department of Education. So let's put in here a sample 6-digit number as our school ID. For example, 987654. Next, please select a grade level. Please take note that once you select a grade level, there are certain things that will be affected. If you select a grade level from kindergarten all the way to grade 10, nothing much happens. But please pay attention to what happens on the screen over here. Once I pick grade 11, The template is also going to ask me for a semester and a senior high school track and strand, which it will not ask me for when I pick a junior high school or grade school or kindergarten grade level. So for this template, let's say for example, I am going to deal with a grade 11 class. The name of the section is matatag, like this. Let's say for example, this is a first semester class. So you can see here the choices. You can either have a first or second semester, or first trimester, second trimester, third trimester, whatever the case may be. So first semester. And then let's say for example, I have a academic track STEM strand like this. Next, please enter the name of the advisor, your name if you are the advisor who's using this. So let's put in a sample name here, Juan de la Cruz. And then, it's going to ask for the name of the school head or the principal of your school, whoever's going to countersign this or attest this later on. So let's say, for example, the name of the principal is Juana de la Cruz, like so. Now, the next part is very important because this is where we enter the school calendar details. Now, if you look at, if you scroll down in this particular page, you will see here that it's going to ask you for the first month of your school year in your school. And then if you scroll down, you have here settings for the first month of the school year, second month, all the way to the 12th month of the school year. Now, this is what happens. The moment you pick a first month of the school year here, for example, remember we picked school year 2022 to 2023, and then we pick first month of the school year to be August, just like what most schools started in for this school year, August 2022, you will notice that the template now calculates and prepares the calendar for August 2022. This is the calendar for August 2022, and the rest of the template below adjusts September 2022, October 2022, all the way to 2023. Please take note that this template calculates years properly. So, for example, months and years properly. So, say for example, if you have February 2022, of course, February ends at 28. March ends at 31, April ends at 30, and this template accounts for leap years. So for example, February 2022 has 28 days, and then February, if I change this to 2024, February 2024 has 29 days to account for the leap year. Now, let's set this to 2022 to 2023, this school year, and then let's say for example, our school year started in August. Now, in this part of the template, we are supposed to set the school calendar of our school. We are supposed to tell the template which of these days are valid class days, right? So, in which of these days are we going to check if the student is absent, late, or cutting classes later on? So, say for example, for the month of August for your school, this is an example, for your school, for the month of August, you started schooling at 8. Alright, so let's start that. You started schooling at 8, so you activate 8. So you will notice that once I activate 8, the template now starts counting the number of school days. So say for example, this year, this is all active, or this is all valid school days, like so. And then of course, continuing to the next week, like this. Now, say for example, just as an example, this is Zamboanga del Norte, and this is just an example. In August 19 in Zamboanga del Norte, there is a festival, so there is no class on August 19 because this is a city holiday or a municipal holiday, just as an example. So we can set this to inactive because this is not a valid class day or school day. So we continue with the rest of the calendar like this. We activate this and this as well and this as well. So say for example, in your school's calendar, Saturday of August is also a valid school day, so let's activate that. August 29, there is no class for this because if I remember correctly, this is the National Heroes Day, so we keep that inactive. And this is active as well, and this is active as well. So in this particular part of the template, please set your school's calendar. Which schools are valid school days, turn them into active. And if they're not valid school days, keep them inactive. Now, of course, you may be asking, how do I know what are the valid school days in my school? Well, please ask your principal, please ask your administrators, please ask your registrar. They should have a copy of the school calendar of your school. Remember a while ago, during the downloading part of this video, I mentioned that there are two versions of this template. There's a DepEd version for public schools, and there's the open version, preferably for private schools. So what is the difference between both of them? Well, this is the difference between both of them. In the open version, as you can see here, in the open version, all of these school calendar entries have been set to inactive because, of course, it is waiting for you, my dear private school advisor, to set the school calendar of your private school yourself. However, in the DepEd version, this part has already been set for you. If you are a public school teacher, in the DepEd version, the school calendar has already been set for you, and this is in accordance to DepEd Order 34, Series 2022, the school calendar, the official school calendar of the Department of Education. So for those who are public school teachers, you don't have to check the school calendar in DepEd Order 34 because this has been done for you. So once again, to review this, if you are a private school teacher, please use the open template so that you can set the school days yourself. If you are a public school teacher, please use the DepEd version of the template because this already has the valid school days as prescribed, as required by the Department of Education for all DepEd schools. For public school teachers, this is something I'd like to point out because this may be something that may concern you later on. First of all, according to DepEd Order 34 Series 2022, as you can see here, we have it on my screen right now. If you check the month of February, you will see here there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 class days here. But it says there, class days 14. The reason for that is, because in this month, we're supposed to have the National Achievement Test for grade 12. But because we do not know yet when the National Achievement Test is going to be, well, we don't know yet. So you can set it on the template. You can set it on the template later on in the February part, February 2023. You can set it manually in the February part here, depending on the schedule of the National Achievement Test for your school. Also, for public school teachers, according to DepEd Order 34 Series 2022, just like what you can see on the screen, this is strange because in the month of March 2023, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 class days currently in this calendar, but it says there class days 22. I have no idea why that is so, but for now I am going to assume that this class days 22 here may be probably a typo or maybe a miscount, and so on the template here we are going to assume that it's going to have 23 school days, and all of these have been activated as it should be. Okay, now that we've cleared all of that up, for the rest of this video, we are going to assume that the school calendar we are going to use is going to be the DepEd school calendar. But of course, for private school teachers, you know that you can change your own school calendar later. But for this particular video, we're going to assume, once again, that we're going to use the DepEd school calendar. So now that we've cleared all of that up, once you enter the general information for your school, and once you've finished entering the data for your school calendar over here, now it's time to finally learn how to enter attendance data for this school form 2 template. So you can see here on the lower left corner of the screen, you have here Gen Info, Input, and Output. So to enter attendance data, please click on the input sheet over here. Right now, we're at the input part of this school form 2 template. So this is the input part. Let me first discuss the parts of this input sheet. So this is raw attendance data. Now, this part, this is where you enter the name of the students. Of course, for school form 2, you are expected to enter the full last name, the full first name, and the full middle name, and of course, name extensions of the student. And then this is where you enter the sex of the students, and then this is where you enter enrollment data. So month of enrollment, whether they're transferred in, transferred out, or no longer participating in school activities. We'll talk about that later. And then in this part, this is where you enter attendance data for month 1, the first month of the school year, second month of the school year, third month of the school year, all the way to the 12th month of the school year. So let's start with entering names. So to enter the names of the students, just input them on these blanks over here which ask for student names. So for example, I'm gonna copy and paste a sample student name here. By the way, all of the student names we're going to use are fictional. So this is a student name. So you can see here, this is last name, first name, and then full middle name. And then we need to enter the sex of the student. So it's either male or female, like so. Now, let me tell you this, my dear teachers. Some teachers may want to enter their student names like this. They may want to enter their student names based on the standard DepEd format, meaning alphabetically arranged males first, and then alphabetically arranged all females next. If you want to enter student names like this, no problem, go ahead. But let me tell you this. This template has an auto-arranging feature. In other words, no matter what order you put the names of the students in here, no matter what order they're in, the template will always arrange them in the SF2. The template will always arrange them later in the standard DepEd format. So in other words, if you want to enter student names like this, let me first remove that. If you want to enter student names like this, copy, paste over here. Please take note of how I'm entering student names this time. This time, I chose to enter the names of the students alphabetically, regardless of their sex. Some teachers may want to do this because it's easier to find students who have been arranged alphabetically, regardless of their whether they're male or female. If you want to do this, go ahead, no problem. Because later on, when you print the School Form 2 template, this template is going to arrange the names automatically in the standard DepEd format. Males first, arrange alphabetically, and then females next, arrange alphabetically. So after we have all of the names here, let's now enter a month of enrollment. So we're going to talk about late enrollees later on, but you have the following choices when you enter the month of enrollment. For example, for this student, si Antonio over here. So if you click on the month of enrollment, you have the following choices. So remember that we set this template, the school calendar. The first month is going to be August. So the template is going to ask you, did this student enroll during August and then enrolled on or before the first day of classes? Meaning, did he enroll on time, or was this a late enrollee? Meaning, this student enrolled in August but enrolled after the first day of classes, meaning after the cut-off date of the Department of Education. So let's assume for a moment that all of the students we have here on record enrolled on time. So we select here August, enrolled on or before the first day, Friday of classes. So this is what we select. Now, once we select that, you will notice, once we select the month of enrollment, you will notice that the template has started counting. This is student number 1. Once we select another one and then we enroll him again, August enrolled on or before the first day of classes, like this, the template starts counting the number of students you have. So this is a guide for you. The template is not going to see, or the template is not going to detect a student unless you have the name of the student, the sex of the student, and then enrollment details, whether the student enrolled on time, enrolled late, or was a transferee. So once again, just like I mentioned a while ago, let's assume for a moment that all of these students enrolled on time. So I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to paste that all the way down here. So this is assuming that all of our students enrolled during the first month on or before the first Friday of classes. In other words, all of them enrolled before the cut-off period of the Department of Education. Of course, some of you may be asking, sir, what if they did not enroll on or before the first Friday of classes? What if they enrolled September or October, or what if they transferred in? We will talk about that later. Just like what I mentioned a while ago, we'll first talk about normal circumstances, and then the late enrollees, transferred in, transferred out, and LPAs. We're gonna talk about that later on. So now that we have our student names, and then we have their sexes, and then we have their month of enrollment, let's start entering attendance data. So scroll to the right, and you will see here the first month. Now, the rows above are colored based on how you set the school calendar. So you can see here, from August 1 all the way to August 21, they're all colored black. That is because on the school calendar, classes started August 22. That is why if you check the school calendar here, only the valid school days have colors in them. So that is where you enter attendance data. So my dear teachers, entering attendance data is very, very easy with this template. All you have to do is to enter A, letter A as in alpha, A for absent, L for late, and C for cutting classes, because because absent, late, and cutting classes are the entries that are being looked for on the school form 2. So just click, for example, Antonio is absent during the first day of classes, so you just pick here A. You can either pick it from the drop down box or you can just type it manually. You can even copy that and paste that over here if you want it faster like this. Or if this student, Arnold, is late for this particular day, then you pick L like so. If this particular student was cutting classes, bad student, cutting classes for Friday, then you select C. So that's all you have to do. A for absent, L for late, C for cutting classes. So let me clarify something, my dear teachers. What if you put an A over here? You put an absence where there is no valid school day, and you might wonder, or you might think, oh no, he has an absence on a day that is not even a school day. Do not worry, my dear teachers. If you accidentally put an absence or a late or a cutting class on a day that is not a valid school day, the template is going to completely ignore that. Hopefully you don't make that mistake, but if in case you do, well, at least you know that you're going to be safe. Now, I took the liberty of entering sample attendance data for the rest of the day. So you have here sample attendance data. So say, for example, this is what our attendance data looks like. So you have here attendance for the month of August. Then you already have here attendance for the month of September. Then you already have here attendance for the month of October, November, December, January 2023, February, March, and then April, May, June, July. So we already have sample attendance data for the whole school year. Now it's time to see how is this going to be printed. What does the school form 2 output actually look like? To view the output, click on, if you look at the lower left corner of the screen, click on the output sheet, and we will proceed to the actual school form 2. This, my dear teachers, is the printable school form 2. So you can see here, in the label above, this sheet is designed to be printable on A4 size paper. So 8.27 inches by 11.69 inches, the standard of the Department of Education. So please don't change the page layout, page margins, and print area. My dear teachers, this template has an auto-arranging school form 2 template, alright? School form 2 format. So this template is ready to print. All you have to do, literally all you have to do, is just select the month that you want to print. Say, for example, we want to select the month of August. Once we select the month of August, you will see here that school form 2 for August has already been prepared for you. The quirk of this template, just for me to tell you, the quirk of this template is it will print the last page first. The reason why I designed it this way is because the most important information anyway for the month is in the last page, so that if the teacher wants to easily review the statistics for a particular month, he or she can easily do so. So that is why I designed this to print the last page first. But anyway, if you print this later on, you can simply rearrange the sheets so that you can submit it in its proper order. So once you select a month, you will notice that everything has been prepared for you. Everything. So you have your school name, school ID, region, all of these beautiful things up above. You have the month, the days of classes, enrollment data over here, late enrollment, registered learners, percentage enrollment, average daily attendance, percentage of attendance for the month. All of those already calculated for you. And if you proceed downwards, you will see here, of course, this is where you put in the signature, your signature, and then the signature of your principal or school head. And then all of this has been arranged for you. Just like what I mentioned a while ago, this school form 2 template auto arranges the names. So no matter how you chose, please let's go back here. No matter how you chose to arrange the names here, even if you mix the males and females together, even if they're all jumbled together, the template will always auto-arrange the names. Males first, arranged alphabetically, females next, arranged alphabetically. So you don't have to arrange them for yourself. You don't have to hide columns, delete columns, add columns, hide cells, add cells, etc., etc. You don't have to do that because all of this is arranged already. So let's check it out. School Form 2, this is what the first page looks like. You have all of the males here. Then for the next page, all of the males also. But of course, this is where the males end. So you have here this bar over here which shows the males total per day. Then you have here all of the females here, and then all of the females continued here, and then you have your total females and then your total combined. So that is for the month of August. If you change this to the month of September, like this, again, the template is going to adjust everything, all of the numbers, all of the names, auto-arranged for you. All you literally have to do is click, click, print. That's all you have to do. So the number of pages you are to print will depend of course on your class size. So if you have like maybe for example 20 students in your class, then you're probably going to have only 2 active pages. If you have the full Monty, for example, you have 100 students in your class, you're going to be expected to have to print probably 5 active pages. So please take note of this number over here. Active pages 4. What that means is when you're going to print this later on, for example, file and then print, because it says there 4 active pages, when you print this, you set here print active sheets pages 1 to 4 like this because you're only supposed to print 4 active sheets. So you print that and then you're done. Now, my dear teachers, let me show you that these logos over here are actually movable and deletable. So if in case you need to save colored ink and you want to remove these logos, no problem, you may do so. But of course, the regular School Form 2 format needs those logos, so I suggest you don't remove them. But one thing you can do is you can actually insert virtual signatures here. So if in case you don't want to have to sign each and every SF2 yourself, or your principal does not want to have to sign each and every SF2 him or herself, you can insert virtual signatures in this space over here. The Excel sheet is going to allow you to do so. Although, to be honest, I do not know if DepEd allows for virtual signatures. But if in case you do, if in case they do, well, you have that option over here. Next, let's talk about uncommon circumstances. First, let's talk about students who are absent for 5 consecutive days. So say for example, my dear teachers, that Antonio over here did not attend the first week of classes. So he was absent during the first day, absent during the first day, absent during the second day, third day, fourth day, and of course the 5th day. So if this happens, my dear teachers, the template can actually automatically detect that student, this is a male student, that student to have been absent during for 5 consecutive school days. So this happened during the month of August. So if I scroll down over here, you will notice that absent for 5 consecutive days, 1 male has already been detected. Now, please note, my dear teachers, that the way that this works is it does not detect 5 consecutive days, but rather it detects 5 consecutive school days. So in other words, for example, you have here a student Arce absent. Let's put an absence over here, over here, over here, over here, and over here. Over here and over there. So this is not, these 2 days over here, these are not valid school days, but you marked them as absent. But if you look at the template, you will notice that no, the template did not detect, did not even count this as a valid instance of absence for 5 consecutive school days. So let's say, for example, Armistead, this particular male student, this particular male student over here is absent during Wednesday, absent during Thursday, absent during Friday, and then during the next school days, this Tuesday and Wednesday, he's also absent. So this is an instance of 5 consecutive school days absent. So does the template notice that? If you look at the template, yes, the template counts that as 5 consecutive school days and has automatically detected that and put that here. Please take note, my dear teachers, that this template detects 5 consecutive school days across months. In other words, it's very possible, for example, this particular student, Arnold, over here, is absent during August 30, absent during August 31, and then is also absent during September 1, September 2, and then September 3 over here, September 5 over here. So you have 5 school days, consecutive school days, wherein this particular student was absent. So if you look at the output screen, because this is the month of August, the template does not detect Arnold, the female student, to be absent for 5 consecutive school days for the month of August. But if we change this to September, this is where the template detects. This is where the template detects that Arnold has been absent for 5 consecutive school days, and then the last day that she was absent was on a September. So that is how the template counts for 5 consecutive school days, right? Teachers, you don't have to do this yourself because the template checks consecutive school days absences automatically for you. Next, let's talk about late enrollees. So we have here a new student. You have here Abby. This is a new male student. Say for example that Abby did not enroll during August but did not enroll on or before the first Friday of classes. So when we enter in a late enrollee over here, what we're supposed to select is, again, if this student enrolled August, let me increase the font size so it's easier to see, like this. If this student entered August but did not enter during the first Friday of classes, in other words, this student entered after the cutoff date, so we're supposed to choose here August, late enrollee after the first Friday of classes. So this is what we select over here. So once you select this, my dear teachers, first of all, look at this, my dear teachers. Abby is a male student. So in other words, Abby is supposed to be, alphabetically speaking, is supposed to be first here. But you don't have to worry once again, just like what I mentioned a while ago. Let's put this to August. Again, this template auto arranges. That's why Abby is still on top of the list. Also, my dear teachers, you will see here on the counter here, late enrollment during the month beyond the cutoff, 1 male, because we enrolled Abby. And all of these numbers down here have adjusted accordingly. So for as long as you set the enrollment details here correctly, the template is going to auto adjust for you. You don't have to enter anything or you don't have to change anything anymore. Alright, this is another case of a late enrollee. Agua. Agua enrolled not during August but rather entered the school, our class, during the month of September. Let me blow that up a little bit. So during the month of September, naturally, if the student entered during the month of September, he's considered as a late enrollee. So we pick that September late enrollee. So how does the template deal with this? I'd like you to look at this, my dear teachers. Remember that the student entered the month of September. So if the student entered the month of September, we should not expect the student to be on the SF2 for the month of August because he's not in our class during August. Please look at how the template adjusts. During the month of August, Agua is not found on the SF2 because technically he's not yet a part of the class during August. But if you select September over here, again, the numbers over here have adjusted accordingly, and you will now find Agua on the list. So once again, my dear teachers, for as long as you enter the enrollment data here correctly, the template will adjust for you, and all you have to do is select the month and then print. Next, let's talk about students who have transferred in. Now, let me first talk about the difference between a late enrollee and the student who was transferred in. Now, one misconception that most people have regarding transferred in students are they think that all new students or students that are from other schools are automatically transferred in. That's not the case. Please remember this. Transferred in is not the same as new students in your school. So let's compare a late enrollee from a student who transferred in or a transferee. So what is a late enrollee? First of all, for late enrollees, it doesn't matter which school the student enrolled in during the previous school year. So in other words, it doesn't matter whether the student is an old student or a new student. The student is a late enrollee when the student did not enroll in any school year aside from your school during the current school year. But the student enrolled after the first Friday of the start of classes during the current school year. In other words, the student enrolled late, but the student was not from another school during school year 2022 to 2023. During school year 2022 to 2023, the student did not enroll in any other school. He just enrolled in your school, but he enrolled late. That is a late enrollee. On the other hand, this is what transferred in means. First of all, once again, it doesn't matter which school the student is enrolled in during the previous school year, whether the student is an old student or a new student. The thing that you have to watch out for transferred in students is during the current school year, meaning, for example, school year 2022 to 2023, the student enrolled in another school first in 2022 to 2023, and then transferred out from that school and then transferred into our school during the same school year. In other words, for late enrollees, they did not come from another school during the same school year. For transferred in students, they did come from another school during the same school year. So, okay, if you're still confused, sir, I still don't know the difference between a late enrollee, and the transferee. So, how am I going to set the students in my SF2? Well, the one thing I can tell you, my dear teachers, is ask the registrar. The registrar is the best source of information to find out whether the student you're concerned with is a late enrollee or a transferee. Ask the registrar. So we're back here. Say for example that our student, this new student, Alger, Camden Braden, a male student, say for example, this student entered during the month of October, right? The month of October, but he transferred in from another school. So this is where you put in transferred in. You will notice that I kept this blank over here because the student is not a late enrollee. The student is a transferee. So he entered during the month of October. This is how you enter it. And then you enter here the name of the school which he came from. So say for example, this student came from Twitch University. I'm gonna enter that here. Twitch University, like this. So this is the month that the student transferred in, and this is the name of the school where he came from. So let's see how the SF2 adjusts for that. So the name of the student once again is Alger. So during the month of August, of course, during the month of August and September, we do not expect Alger to be on the SF2 because he came into our class October. So during the month of August, Alger is not here. And number of transferees here, transferred in, you still have 0. Month of August. Month of September, Alger is still not here. And then, you still have 0 transferred in. But when you go to month of October, like here, you will notice that the numbers on the right have already adjusted accordingly because you already have 38 registered learners as of the end of the month. You already have 1 transferred in, and Alger is already on your list, and you will see here remarks transferred in from Twitch University. So my dear teachers, once again, for as long as you input the enrollment details properly here, the template is going to adjust automatically for you. Alright, my dear teachers, next let's talk about those who are no longer participating in school activities, which is a fancy term for dropout. This is an unfortunate situation, but it happens, it's reality, so let's see how we're supposed to deal with that in our SF2 template. So let's say for example that Antonio over here, this student here, is no longer participating in school activities starting the month of November. So in the NLPA columns over here, Antonio, let's put in here, he's no longer participating in school activities starting the month of November over here. And then you click here on the NLPA reasons right over here. So pick a reason as it is required by the Department of Education. So the reasons, all of the reasons for NLPA are already listed down here. So pick the reason down below. So say for example, the student had to drop out because of illness, just as an example. So let's see how the SF2 will adjust to this NLPA. So, remember it was Antonio, right? So let's put in here August. So no NLPAs here yet. And then Antonio is still, very much doing well. August, September, no changes here. And then Antonio is still over here. October, no changes here. And then Antonio is still over here, no problem. November, remember this is the month wherein Antonio was already NLPA. So when you already pick November, the NLPA counter is already ticking over here. You already have one NLPA on record, and then Antonio has already been marked as NLPA over here. And if you go beyond November, for example, the month of December, so on the month of December, naturally, Antonio is no longer coming to school because he has been NLPA since November, right? So during December, of course, the NLPA counter has already ticked over here. And then, of course, the attendance of Antonio is going to be completely blank and he is still marked as NLPA with the reason of B1. And B1, of course, is listed down here as illness. So once again, my dear teachers, for as long as you set the proper enrollment settings here, the template, the SF2 is going to adjust for you. And lastly, let's have a sample transferred out student. Let's say, for example, let's have a female this time. This student, Arnold, over here, all right? Arnold transferred out of our student, of our class rather, of our school. Let's say December. Transferred out December, and then she went to Twitch University, like so. So let's see how the SF2 adjusts to this. So for the month of, let's say for starting the month of October, you will see Arnold is still here, no problem. November, the same case. But when you already go to the month of December, transferred out is already ticking over here. You already have one female transferred out. And then Arnold over here has already been marked as transferred out. And once you continue, for example, you have February over here, you still have one transferred out. And then Arnold's attendance data is already blanked out because she is already transferred out. So once again, for as long as you enter the data in the input sheet properly, the output sheet, the SF2, is going to adjust for you. And that is the conclusion of the demonstration of this template. So once again, this is Carlo Excels, a channel that is dedicated to teaching my fellow teachers here in the Philippines Microsoft Excel. And occasionally, I also create Microsoft Excel tools like this that will be helpful for my fellow teachers. Once again, please like this video and share this video to your fellow teachers and drop a comment down below. It'll really help with the YouTube algorithm and help those who are looking for this to find this. Once again, thank you. So that's it for this video demonstration on the Juno Intelligent DepEd School Form 2 or SF2 template. I really hope I earned your subscription today. Once again, I am Carlo and this is Carlo Excels. Thank you very much for watching.